Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bran and we are back with some more Project Zomboid and Abe's Odyssey. Let us press on just a bit. Make sure we got nobody at our front door. We did see a few piles here in the last episode. We'll go ahead and take care of them. Give us something to do. Oh, a duffel bag. Don't think we need it. We got a big hiking bag. Right? Nope, just a hiking bag, but it's better than a duffel bag. Any Project Zomboid players out there? I guess maybe so if you're watching me. What do you do for the long term with your characters? I have a tendency to run out of ideas after a month and a half or so. Month and a half for the character. I mean, I guess, I'm sure I said it before, but I could continue to put them in danger. I guess that's what people do. I guess that's what, the typical thing to do. Go to a different town. Set up a base in all the towns. Why not, right? Some scissors, a pen, a fork. Let's get this larger pile first. What's y'all's favorite town to start in if you're a Project Zomboid player? I have to admit that usually, well, I guess my favorite place to start is Rosewood, but I quickly wind up in Muldraw. If you're watching Odette, she's in Riverside. But I'd have to say Riverside is probably my third favorite place to start. Followed very distantly by West Point. I am not a big West Point fan. I know there's a decent amount of loot and stuff in West Point. Just seems... I don't know. Not worth it for the amount of zombies, I guess I should say. There's a lot of zombies in Muldraw, but there's in my opinion, the amount of loot that you get in Muldraw is maybe easier access to it. So I feel like the risk reward is a bit more evened out. Ooh, big whiff. But I guess that's also why I guess not generally, but my favorite place to start is Rosewood. It's not much as far as threat goes, and the loot, I typically pick Lumberjack. So there's easy access at the fire station to the red axes. Although I have started characters and ran directly to the fire station only for there to be no access. And by no means am I a pro at this game or anything anyway. But I tried to start giving a little tip with regards to, you know, the thing that's going to kill you on Project Zomboid is the zombies. Not really starving to death or thirsting to death. Those things are kind of hard to do. Even with a high thirst character, it's not really easy in a sense to thirst to death. So my advice for new players would be to just get comfortable fighting the zombies, and once you're comfortable fighting the zombies, then the rest of the, you know, the game essentially then just opens up. Then the game starts once you're comfortable fighting the zombies. You don't get the feeling like, I could definitely see how new players worried about their survival could get, you know, sort of disappointed by the amount of times that they, you know, they spend this time reading their skill books and trying to catch the episodes, carpentry episodes, cooking episodes, and things like that. Heck, maybe even finding a generator or something, but then, you know, feeling worried that when they step outside, oh, they're just going to get killed. And, you know, and that happening pretty frequently, stepping outside after doing all that work in the first week, and then just getting killed by the first set of zombies they come across. I definitely, that's what I went through when I first started playing the game. It's can be a bit disheartening. So I'd recommend just getting used to fighting the zombies first. Getting used to their, you know, their speed, their getting used to distancing, your own distancing from them. No alarm. Nice. Oh, we got a banger. Where are you at? You in the bathroom? No. Bedroom? No. Next door, maybe? I hear ya. You must be next door. Yep, then the game opens up being, oh, where are you at? In that bathroom. Then you're able to basically, you know, go wherever you want and do whatever you want once you can fight the zombies. Come on, man. Where are you? There you are. And so it's basically, you know, as far as that goes, kind of, it's not a shame and it's not embarrassing to die a bunch. To die a heck of a bunch in this game. It's, so you might as well die before you've spent all that time trying to cultivate your character. And secondly, I guess a second tip or pointer for new players would be just to, maybe in the same vein as starting a character who you know is almost certainly going to die because you're just getting comfortable with fighting the zombies. Starting a character that you know is almost certainly going to die, and just run around the town. Run around where you spawned at, just checking for points of interest. Thinking about, oh, well, that might be a good place to live. That might, oh, there's a good place for materials, for weapons. for anything, really, just good points of interest. And just keeping that in mind. There is a bed in here, right? Yup. I'm keeping that in mind, where all the good points of interest, just you know, so you can be comfortable with the town, the settings, the direction that you're going. And again, I know it's a survival game and you're going to want to survive, but survival is easiest with a bit of foreknowledge, a bit of planning. And you know, that comes through experience, just checking out the towns, checking out the points of interest. Oh, there went our pickaxe. I was not thinking about that. That was my fault, just running my mouth. Oh, big whiff. Just an ever so slight distance difference, reach difference between the pickaxe and the red axe. And with that foreknowledge of knowing where some things are, where you can get food, where you can get your reading materials, you know, it makes that it makes planning, it makes your ability to you know, work around situations, use situations to your advantage. It makes it a heck of a lot easier. Makes reaching a destination a heck of a lot easier. Having a destination, having a plan. Makes being able to achieve those goals quite a bit easier. And then, you know, and then you're not necessarily getting a bit disappointed by the amount of time that you've put into a singular character just to have them step outside and perish, not know where to go, or run themselves into a rough situation. I'd almost always recommend taking it slow as well, taking it slow. Unless you're running like directly to, you know, a point of interest, to, you know, maybe the place that you're gonna have as your first temporary base, unless you're running directly there with the plan of, you know, dealing with the zombies around there in one way or another, whether that be running them away or bashing them. I feel like it's best to just deal with the zombies as they arrive. It's just running past them, you know, it just bunches them. You're going to have to deal with them eventually, one way or another. So you might as well just go ahead and take them out, take the game slow, progress. You know, some days your progress is going to feel like it wasn't much. Some days it's going to feel like it was a lot more. Getting impatient is a quick way to get yourself in a real tough situation. And of course that's for beginning players who've played the game for, you know, well over 1,000 hours like I have or whatever. It's kind of, it obviously is possible to make mistakes, but generally I know where the the threats are coming from. Generally, I know how to deal with the threats as they come. And if I do find myself in a situation where there's just, say for example, just too many zombies to deal with all at one point in time, you know, it's a lot about just keeping your composure, staying calm, trying not to, you know, make any huge mistakes to getting yourself got. And then just oftentimes in that situation, herding them up and running them off behind some trees or something. But that goes back to being comfortable with fighting the zombies and knowing where that limit is. Knowing how many zombies can I deal with comfortably. Being familiar with how good your character's combat skill is in whatever weapon they have. Like, I'm pretty sure with an axe, I play axe characters a good amount of the time. I'm pretty sure with an axe at about level 7, once that 7th block of axe is full, then most shots, as long as you're not like, you know, super encumbered or really hungry or exerted, most shots with an axe, even just the one-handed little hand axe, most shots at that point are one-shots. Makes it a lot easier to deal with big piles of zombies if you can be pretty sure that every swing you swing is going to take a zombie out. Excuse me, sorry about that, y'all. And we're a little exerted. 6 o'clock in the evening, it's gonna get dark here soon. So we are gonna head back down for some shelter. And we are so close to Riverside, so close. I want to say the closer we get, the more there's going to be on the road. Out here in the country, there ain't nowhere near as many as getting towards the town. But speaking of axe skill as an example, Abe here is almost halfway through that 7th block full. And he's also got a bunch of long blunt and a bunch of long blade. And how many zombies has he killed? 1,436 in 22 days. If I had been able to focus more just solely on axe, you know, given a situation like one of my other characters, Enrique, where he started in Rosewood and went to Modraw relatively quickly and just had axes for days, Abe here would have already been level 7 axe. And he would have been doing a lot more one-shotting, which saves your stamina. And we'll just go ahead and discard that pickaxe as well. Don't believe we have any wood glue or anything like that. And for an axe character, a pickaxe is my favorite weapon. Has a tiny bit more reach than a red axe. I guess one final pointer for the episode is something that's you know, not necessarily the first thing you should be thinking about if you're just learning the game, but it is something that you'll be able to manage a lot better once you get comfortable fighting the zombies, and that is your distancing from the zombie. The closer the zombie is out to the end of the reach of your weapon, the more damage you actually do. If they're super close to you, or closer than to the end, then you'd actually do a little bit less damage to them. So it is kind of best, regardless of the weapon, to keep them at the end of it, if at all possible. Of course, that's not always possible. But if at all possible, to keep them at the end of the weapon will do the most damage. I thought we took care of you guys. I guess some more just moved in that quick. Abe's just an interesting guy. I was about to make a comment about, depending on your situation, if you have a weapon multi-hit on, getting used to maybe just pausing a swing for just a split second and letting the second zombie, the zombie sprite line up with the first zombie sprite, and then you can just hit them both. Of course, again, saving stamina. Instead of 2 swings, it only took 1. But I missed. I didn't do a good job of setting an example as far as that goes. That was my aim, though. Alright, a little sip of water. Fill up our water bottle. What's our weight looking like, Abe? 83 and 1 arrow down. That's reasonable. Let's eat a bag of chips. Alright, we're going to go ahead and call it a day here. I want to thank y'all so much for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying Abe and his Odyssey, and I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like it might be, we might nearly be towards the end of Abe's Odyssey. If you have any suggestions or whatever, anything you'd like to see Abe continue to do, maybe you'd like to see him set up a home in Riverside, let me know. Down in the comments below, it would be much appreciated. And if you are enjoying Abe and his Odyssey, if you could please comment, like, maybe even consider subscribing. It would mean a heck of a lot to me. I appreciate y'all so very, very much, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.